In the vastness of the cosmos lies a record of all that was, is, and will be. The Akashic Records, an ethereal compendium of universal knowledge. What if you could access the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes? Unravel the mysteries of your past, understand your present, and glimpse your future. As above, so below. The cosmic alignments shape our world in ways we're only beginning to understand. From human history to artificial intelligence, from energy healing to financial empowerment, it's all connected. And you're part of the grand design. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery? Tune in. Unlock the secrets of the universe. Your cosmic journey begins here.
Hello, everyone. So in this episode, we're going to talk about the Gemini Moon, which is happening this week. And we're going to talk about the holiday season, which we're officially in December now, so it is upon us. And we're going to talk about how to stay out of the divide, all those social gatherings, all the political uprising is happening. We're still at the end of the 9-year, in the final months of the final days of this year. And next year starts all new. So today we're going to dive into staying out of the divide and keeping our focus on ourselves. Hi, I'm Jennifer Quick, and this is Soul Clarity. So let's begin with Gemini Moon. So Thursday night, we have a full moon. Full moons are a time for us to celebrate, come out of our shell, and acknowledge all of the great things that have been happening. This particular full moon lands in the horoscope sign of Gemini. This is a time of clarity, communication, and story rewriting. How appropriate for the season. As we wrap up this year, it is all about the story we tell ourselves. Going into the holidays, dealing with family and friends, it's all about the stories we tell ourselves. Learn how to take a step back in your life and learn how to tell the stories that fulfill you, uplift the others around you. All the good stories. Remember the good times and nurture and flood your energy into the love versus the trauma triggers that are bound to happen. So, Gemini Moon, clarity and communication. Let's back up here. What does that all mean? So this full moon shines a bright crystalline light on your inner dialogue. The stories you tell yourself. The thoughts that loop round and round and round, and that beliefs that shape our choices. Often these are held at the subconscious level, and we're just not aware of what we actually believe. Sometimes we are, sometimes it's on the surface, but a lot of times it's buried deep into why we are doing what we do. But beliefs and programs are usually rooted in childhood. We can also bring them in through our genetic line. We can also bring them in through our soul history. Right? Which we can clear in the Akashic Records. But regardless of where they began, the beliefs that you hold in your system today are what's shaping the step forwards that you make, the choices that you make, the decision to do this career or that career, or not do this or not do that, or who you are with, who you are not with. All of those things are shaped by what we hold inside as the beliefs that we have in our life. So this full moon is asking us to step back and look at what our inner dialogue is. What do we actually believe? So how do we start doing that? Take a step back and look at your life. Where there is struggle or stress or strife, take a moment to go inside of it. Think about it. Feel it. And when you're going inside and thinking about it, take a look at it from your angle as you experienced it, but also take a moment to understand what was going on with the other person or in the greater circumstances of what was happening, and see if you can put it into a place and time and to give you a bigger insight as to what was actually going on. Often our own perception is not the same perception as when you take into everything else that's going around. That's why everybody has a different perception of the same event. So really look and broaden your expansion to look at your inner dialogue and look at the context of where the negative points start. Or where those negative stories you're telling yourself, the I can't do this, I can't do that, does it fall into, self-worth, judgment, what else is there? Fear of being hurt, or having been wronged, Those are all very common family themes, friend themes, community themes. And stop and take a look and go, who is placing those on you? And why are you holding on to them? All right. A common one is the feeling that everybody hates me, or I don't fit into the community. I don't fit into this family. I'm the black sheep of the family, right? None of my friends like me. I'm not credentialed enough to do this. Those are all judgments we put on ourselves that we've taken on. Somebody else has shown them to us, and we, for some reason, have taken them on and are living by them. But really stop and ask, are they true? Are they true? Are they really what is stopping you? Do they actually matter? Like, really look at them and decide whether they're serving you or not. Most of the time, we are holding ourselves to what we call reality, and it's not real at all. It's actually ourselves that are stopping us from moving forward, not somebody else. We're not being rejected. We're so afraid of being rejected that we actually reject in defense. We're going to reject them first. And we do it at such a deep level, sometimes we're not even fully aware that that's what we're doing. Okay? Maybe you don't feel comfortable, you feel like the black sheep of the family. But from my experience in working with families, almost everybody in the family feels like they're the black sheep. For some reason, we have in our head that we're supposed to all be alike, and we're not. We're all completely different. And what role you play in your family will determine what your perspective is, and it will be very different than someone else's. So your older sibling has a very different perspective of how the childhood went than yours, even though you were in the same house with the same parents. Parents are very different from one child to another, not about how much they love you or don't love you. It's just the circumstances change, and the age at which we experience them changes. So your sibling experienced dad losing his job at the age of 6 when your sibling was 6, but you were only 2. And it had a totally different impact on you than it did on your older sibling. You can see where it would be a very different set of programs that get installed into you. So really take a look at when these things took place. Everybody I've ever worked with, not everybody, almost everybody, in normal family dramas, not the deep traumas, but the family dramas, they feel like the black sheep because they are part of growing up, and part of being a family is, yes, how much we are alike, but it's also how much we're not alike. Each one of us is unique. If we were all the same nut, all we would have is a bowl of one nut. But instead, our families are a complete bag of mixed nuts. All right? And that's what makes everything beautiful. If we were all exactly the same, what would be the point? Right? Life would be very boring if we all had the exact same opinion, and we all had the exact same experiences, and we all did the exact same thing. There wouldn't even be any progression. If we all did the same job, we wouldn't create anything new. We'd just be doing the same thing. And so we'd create one thing. So families have a lot of diversity. There's a lot of different characters coming together. The theme that holds you together are those family stories that you all shared, but the perspective of how those stories unfolded is unique to every single family member. This is the same thing within our friend groups, within our community. Everybody has a different perception. So really look at what your perception is, and whether, if you're feeling rejected, maybe you're the one that's doing the rejection. So those are things that we are being asked to take a look at right now. Really look at what our inner dialogue is. Are we telling ourselves that we're not worthy? Or is somebody else telling us that we're not worthy? Very rarely do people go around saying, you're not worth it. Don't do that. You can't do that. You're not worth it. Okay? No, usually it's ourselves saying that to ourselves, that we're not worthy. We're not worthy of receiving. One of the biggest things I run into with people is that they're incapable of receiving. They are so walled up, protecting their heart, protecting their self-identity, that they actually don't receive love into them. And therefore they perceive everything as being against them. Is that your inner dialogue? Really get honest with yourself and find out. That's what this moon is asking us to do. And it's a very healing path to do that. Right? Journaling is an excellent way of doing it. It'll help you get the perspective out when you write these things down. When you actually have to organize your thoughts and put them down on a piece of paper, you get a little bit bigger perception. You get a little clarity of what's actually going on. Often, here's another one. So touching on that same line about the worthiness, and often there is this thing where family members actually judge us as not being good enough. They see us as incapable, or we're weaker, or we struggle, or we don't have the resilience, or whatever. They perceive us for less than what we perceive ourselves. And it undermines us. And often it leads us into not having the confidence to move forward on the things we want to do because we're picking up their judgment. And so really stop and look. Are you taking on their judgment? Because they don't have any right to do it. And you certainly don't need to take it upon yourself. So take a look and see, is this something that you're generating from yourself? Are you rejecting them first? Or are you accepting their judgment, which isn't right to begin with? Right? Give it back to them. Let them keep it. And I don't mean going out and attacking somebody. I just mean do not take it upon yourself what their judgments are. And so take a look. Is your inner dialogue full of what their perception of you is? Or is it full of what the real perception of you is? Right? Sometimes if our families think less of us, they think that we're incapable of something, sometimes we need to sit with our inner dialogue and go, what have I accomplished? What am I doing? And really look for the facts. Because we can self-abuse ourselves a lot. And the fact is, we've all accomplished something. Right? The fact is, you're still here on earth, so you've got some resilience in you. And the judgment we get from our family members, it's often delivered under a title of they love us, but really it's them exercising their own fears. They don't understand what you're doing, therefore they fear it and judge you for doing it and call it love because they're just worrying about you, looking out for you, right? Concerned about you. Realize that those messages from your family are actually about them, not you. So don't take them on as your inner dialogue. See that as theirs. Right? They can't see how you would succeed because they couldn't do what you do. But you do what you do and succeed. Okay? There's a lot of people that look at what I do in life and don't understand it. Right? And they don't know how I could make a career at it. But I have. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of people that I've helped over the years. And they know that I can do it. But I don't need my family to know. I don't need everybody in my life to know. If they want to judge, they can judge. I don't care. Doesn't change what I'm doing. Doesn't change what I know about myself. And that's where you have to get to. You have to look at what your inner dialogue is and really ask yourself, what thoughts are looping through your head? Are they real? What perception are they coming from? Are they true? Are they revealing thoughts that are somebody else's? Maybe you've taken on somebody else's fears, somebody else's anger, right? Are they actually yours? And when they're not, make sure you get rid of them and rewrite, even ones that may have some truth to them. There's always another story that we could write about them that puts us in a power position of resilience, of strength, of courage, of doing. And that's what we are invited to do, is find our way back to our authentic expression, the self-love and the love of others. And it's through the inner dialogue that we talk to ourselves about. So what else about the Gemini Moon? It illuminations around communication or relationships. Right into the holiday season. Let's focus on communication and relationships. People communicate very different. And it causes a lot of strain in relationships. The way you say something and the way somebody else hears it, or the way somebody else says something and the way you hear it, are often misaligned. Because we listen and we express through our own perception of reality. And our perception of reality is all about from the point of view where we're standing and looking at it. So everybody will have a different point of view. All right. So when you're communicating with somebody and it's not going in the right direction, kind of take a minute and see, why are they not hearing what you're trying to say? If they're not understanding what you're saying, why are they not hearing it? Where is their perception coming from that is blocking them from understanding? Or is same as if, where are you not saying things clearly so that they can understand? What is your program that they're not understanding? The same thing as when somebody talks to you and you're not understanding what they're saying, or is landing in a really negative way. Stop and think, is this being twisted or funneled through my own perceptions? And are they real? Right? When we do that, we can really clean up a lot of communication and relationship issues. This is also a time for a lot of clarity around decisions. This is a great time to start really thinking about, what are we going to do next year? 2026 is a year of 1. This is a new beginning of another 9-year cycle. So what are you going to do with it? What seeds are you going to start planting? Now is a really good time to start making those decisions. Old thought loops will rise so they can finally be dissolved. And again, that's going back to what we were talking about the inner dialogue. Really look at what all those old thought loops are and ask, are they true? And are they empowering you? Even if they are true, are they empowering you? And if they're not, then it's time to get rid of them. A renewed desire to speak your truth with confidence. We should always speak our truth. I really struggle with the lies that people tell. I don't know how they keep them straight. I've seen people that tell so many lies that they just fumble and don't even know where reality is anymore. I don't understand why people want to live that way. I understand how they end up living that way, because it's full of traumas and dramas of as they grew up and whatever their path, what they've walked in life, they've learned to do this in order to protect themselves. But it's time to get rid of it. It's time to step into truth. Speak truth. And just because you speak your truth, again, remember, perceptions, it's all what's coming through your programs and beliefs, what's coming through the other people's programs and beliefs. Right? Perception as to what everybody's experience was. But that doesn't change whether or not it's your truth. So look at it as your truth and know your truth, but also look at whether you're holding on to what you know to be true. Is it causing pain? Because maybe it's time to let the truth, like recognize the truth, but also let it go and move on. You don't need to question it anymore. That's part of having confidence with your own truth, is that you no longer need to question whether it's true or not. You just know. You know how it happened, right? And you know what went on. You know what the truth is. You don't need to go over it and justify it and relive it over and over and over. It's said, it's done. Let it go. That's part of knowing your truth with confidence. All right. It's also, truth with confidence is also, just because somebody disagrees with you doesn't mean you have to force them to agree with you in order for you to be confident about your truth. Right? There's an old joke, I respect your right to be wrong. That's a great statement. That's my truth in confidence, and with confidence, without having to fight about it. Right? Which brings me to my final thing that I wanted to talk about, because this is the holiday season is upon us, right? A time for family and friends and all the triggers that we ignite amongst each other in the name of love, of family and friends, right? There's also, when we get together with family and friends, there's a lot of talk that goes on. And there's a lot of hot topics. What my advice is to learn how to stay out of the divide. So our world, as we're going through these final days, and we're going through this evolution process that we are, the current world we're in is very much divided. And it doesn't matter if you're right or left. It's the divide that matters. Right? It's being able to see common ground That's where we are going to feed a positive future. If you're stuck in either polarity of a narrative, so if you end up over the holidays talking to somebody about politics and you're firing energy into either right-wing or left-wing ideals, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way you're going. There's no right or wrong. The fact that you are firing up your energy in order to fight about it, to put contrast into it, you're putting your energy there. Right? And that's contributing to the world that we don't want. That's contributing to the world of divided. Right? So we come back and go, I hear what you have to say. Right? It's okay. We can differ. We can differ on our opinions. Doesn't mean we need to fight about it. Right? I can have a different opinion than you, and you can have a different opinion than me. And you know what? We can still have a great time together. So focus on the good time together, not on the divide. So when it comes to politics or hot topic issues, really watch. Are you getting caught into somebody else's emotional turmoil over it? Is it bringing out drama from you? Is it spinning up this negative energy? Because it's not something you want to feed out into the world. Stop yourself and step out of the conversation. Redirect the conversation or remove yourself from the situation, because it's not worth feeding into that divide. Right? We want to create a world of peace and harmony and love and connection, and that's the world that we're going on. The two timelines, I'm going to talk about this in a different episode, but the two timelines are really separating right now, and we can still see the other side, the other timeline, and this is the difference between the two timelines. One is full of war, arguments, divide, everyone against each other. The other world is looking for solutions and peace and love. It's about unity. It's about how are we all going to make a happy world, right? It's staying out of the divide. So make sure you're staying into the timeline that you want to be on, right? Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say for today. So, love you all. Thanks for hanging with me. And I hope some of what I've had to say will help you in your holiday adventures. And I'll see you next time.
Do you feel stuck, disconnected, or like you're not living your true purpose? It's not your fault. Your soul carries imprints from past choices, old patterns, and misalignments that block your growth. Soul Realignment Trademark dives deep into your Akashic Records to uncover and clear these blocks, restoring you to your authentic power. This transformational process helps you realign with your soul's true blueprint, unlocking abundance, clarity, and purpose. It's time to stop feeling stuck and start living the life your soul is calling you toward. Book your soul realignment session today and step into the life you're meant to live. Discover your true self at Soul Clarity website.